What it do, little baby? We back again. Lester Sanchez, Quincy Jamal, Joe Farnese, The
Season
Grounded
two.
Show, Season 2, Episode 101. We took a well-needed reset, and we
Mm-hmm.
back again, ready to get it real. But what we
So,
was just talking about right now that I wanted to roll the cameras before time is we are just talking about algorithms and something specifically you just said, Joe, about like kind of like tailoring your feed and putting not interested and stuff. The thing that sucks about that is if people are reacting to something, it'll pop up on your for you
yeah.
because let's say 50 of your followers liked it, so it's gonna pop up on your thing. So it might not align with the interest that you have on Instagram, but Instagram like prioritizes popularity so much that if something's blowing up, they're just gonna put it in everybody's face. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which
Right.
is even like we were talking about before, just the algorithms and stuff like that. And we're talking about Dave Blunt, so he's like on the top of the independent playlist for Spotify right now, even though he has like a very unorthodox style and all the buzzwords that he uses are like the words right now that are like it's like a big no-no to use those words. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he got a song that's the number one song on the independent playlist. The song is called Bundle of Sticks. So you already know what he's insinuating with that. And that kind of stuff is like the worst kind of things that you could try to advertise because, people don't go for that basically. But whenever somebody's popping like he is, they throw all that algorithmic stuff out the window because it's like, oh, he's getting hits, so let's use it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Which goes kind of even ties in a little bit with what we was talking about last time with the them trying to keep urban music in like a certain place. And it's like they'll keep it in that place because even though it's wrong, it's selling. And if it's selling, they're gonna put it in front of the camera and they're gonna sell as much of it as they can. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, bro. I think um DJ Envy had said that on the radio one time. That it was the first time I had heard about it, and I never verified it. But he was saying that one of his first label deals, they actually one of the things they wanted to do as part of the deal is take out a life insurance policy on him because
Oh
of
yeah.
like the rapper lifestyle and stuff, basically like to
Mm-hmm.
protect their assets. So if he passes away or he gets killed or something, they're still protected. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
That's
like it's
crazy.
like deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it runs deep, like how calculated it is, like the exploiting the trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that he said a lot of the rappers who died had life insurance policies taken out on them.
Yeah. And then the label recoups everything. They're cool. They made their money off you, and they made any money that you might owe if you pass. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they're giving you an advance. If you die before you pay that advance, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's whatever $1 million they gave you. Now who's gonna pay it back? Well, they got life insurance policy on you, so they good. So you dead or alive, they chilling.
Yeah, I saw a clip from Ray Daniels too. I guess he's a pretty known producer that's like often in with the executives on these conversations. And basically what he was kind of saying is that the execs are typically, rich white individuals, you know what I mean? And they're trying to push like a certain image that obviously we're listening to or we're engaging with. But then, when basically what he was saying was that when he is talking to these people and he's having these conversations, they're so out of touch with the what do you call it? Like the whole culture that it's crazy. That it's like, and that's why they're able to do stuff like that. That's why they're able to take out these life insurance policies because they know is the money side of
It's
it. You know what I
business.
mean?
Yeah.
It's business. Exactly.
It's not art to them. It's how they
Exactly.
make money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Something I
That's
was
right.
even telling my wife the other day, and it's funny because I didn't get to finish telling her so she could hear it now. Is a lot of times, even like with movie studios, it really just be the people that have literally movie studios.
Mm.
Yep.
Real estate is expensive in LA. So if you got a movie studio, which is a huge lot in
Mm-hmm.
LA, you got money. There's no way to have a huge lot in LA without money.
Hmm.
So the people that are running these studios and the people that are deciding which movies are getting made are the people with the money because they're the ones with the studios. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
The thing, I think, what's his name? I forgot who said it recently, man, because I'm confusing a Sauce Walker interview that I heard. with something else, but it might have been him. But he was basically saying that with the music, like he realized right away, like not to put his eggs in that basket. You know what I mean? He made it work with everything else. He says something like, I'm only a rapper on the weekends." You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like he
Mhm.
was saying it like in a jokey kind of way, but it was kind of like he peeped the game pretty quick, and he was like, "All right, I see what this is compared to what I thought it was." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's right. You really have to find the formula, and it's crazy. Like I'm saying, these streamers finding that formula, bro, because anybody who every that's why everybody start a stream, and then like it's crazy how you could tell how successful they're getting because they're buying big ass mansions, they're moving in together, um, creating this content, getting all these crazy ass views. And like I said, when I was watching the Olympics, it was crazy how many just video game streamers were there at the Olympics
Mhm.
in Paris. So it's like either they're getting flown out there, they're making it good enough where they got the money to be out there. But it's just like the
It's the eyes,
way,
bro. It's like they're getting the eyes organically, and that's something that no matter how much money you pay, you can't guarantee that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you can put people in front of like you can put somebody in front of the eyes of the public, but if they don't decide to stick with them, it don't mean nothing. Those people like Kai Cenat,
Mhm.
Aiden Ross, the
the dude
Speedy dude,
interviewed
you know
Donald
what I mean?
Trump, bro, on a
Bro,
stream.
these are dudes that are getting such crazy amount of reach with their platform, which is just them as a brand. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yep.
That like you said, bro. They're literally having presidential candidates like trying to interview with them because that's how much influence and how much stroke they have just with people in general. You know what I mean?
It's just imagine paying $1 million for a marketing plan, or paying $1 million for a guaranteed 500,000 people that's going to be streaming or tapped into the. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
guarantee. It's an instant return on investment. You know you're getting your return on investment.
Facts. It's kind of like even with Joe Rogan, like he has a certain audience that if you go on his show, you're pretty much guaranteed that that audience is going to give you the time and is going to give you the ear and going to hear your side because that's what the show is about. You
Right.
know what I mean? New ideas, digging into old ideas, you know what I'm saying? So you as a guest on a show like that, you already know, dang, whatever I'm trying to get off, these people are going to give me an honest shake at it. And at that point, it's either they rock with you or they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's just crazy because like the ads, like because Theo Vaughn has ads. I watch this people called New Rockstar, and I don't really notice the ads. And it's them just doing a breakdown halfway through the video, like, hey, today's video was brought to you by,
Yeah.
and but I never listened to it. I was like, so how is it worth that much money? And maybe just me because I don't watch the full episode, but I was like, the ads, I don't ever remember. They're not memorable ads. I couldn't even tell you what the products are.
Well, a lot of them they have enough viewership that they are they're monetized. You know what I mean? The amount of time that they're watched, they make money off of that from YouTube and other
Yeah, but that's based
Twitch
off
or
the ad
whatever.
revenue.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. But what you're saying, like you're saying, Joe, I'm the opposite. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts and I've used a lot of the services that I've heard in the ads.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Like I tried the back in the day they used to advertise Harry's a lot. Like you pay $5 a month, they send you
Yeah.
brand new razors in the mail. I had tried
Mm-hmm.
that. Um what's the other one? Hello Fresh. That's one I heard on those on the podcast and stuff. And I used one of them cheap offers to get in there. I ordered a few times and then I just kept the recipes and did it myself. But I use that off a podcast. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I feel
Yeah.
they've worked on me for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I mean. I've used them off of like Instagram, but they're not off people. Like, so ads do sell me, but when it comes to the YouTube videos I watch, like I just skip right over the ads and I don't even listen to them. I'm like, how many people are there like me, or how many people are there who are actually using the ads? So it just makes you wonder how it's so valuable when
And
to
it
me.
depends on the model as well, right? Because like you're talking about Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn, he's big podcasts. Like his podcast itself is really big. So like his thing is like downloads and streams of the podcast. You know what I mean? Like that's the big number for him. And like even a lot of the stuff that makes its way to TikTok, it goes back to him, but he's not necessarily eating off that either because people are just clipping his podcast and throwing these clips on these different accounts. And it's like what he was saying was like they're posting it at such a rapid rate from so many random different accounts that you can't even try to like keep
Yeah,
it,
stop it.
stop people from using your clips and stuff. Like at a certain point, it's like, bro, you just gotta let it happen and just hope that they come and download the podcast. You know what I mean? But then you got somebody else like a streamer where they're specifically making their bread off the live viewers. You know what I mean? Live viewership, people
Yeah, they're
donating,
paying them. Yeah.
spending money with them, like just for watching them. Like it's crazy, bro. Like to me, I don't know, bro. That's like a wild concept. It's definitely something that we're like
Yeah.
not from that generation, so it's different
Oh,
for
bro.
us.
And that's why I feel like almost like it's poison now. Like it's tainted. Content creation is tainted.
Because everybody's
But
a content creator now. Everything is content. Like that's what's
Everything's
been
content. Yeah.
drilled into everybody. Like it's kind of like what we've talked about before. Like somebody will be like, "Come to Target with me." You know what I mean? Like
mm-hmm.
it's like you doing your errands now as somebody that doesn't do anything like like without hobbies. You feel me? Like because that's the thing that gets me. Like I'm not like, oh, you got to be a celebrity or something like that, but like have a hobby. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing somebody's content if like let's say something that I randomly see is like people that make these custom rugs. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
That
I like
and
Mhm.
those.
and they do them by hand and stuff. It's like, bro, that's a skill that you learned that you took your time on. You're doing content based off this. I'll give it a listen because you've put the work in to earn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can see that this is something that takes skill.
Mhm.
If I'm scrolling by, come with me to Target, like, bro, I'm
But
straight on.
there's a lot of people that will
Yeah.
engage with that and be like, you know what I mean? That resonates with them.
Yeah. And
It's
something
it.
that comes
Yeah.
up a lot too is like people saying like they're like romanticizing like everyday life. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like trying to like make it seem a certain way to kind of make you feel like it's more than what it is. You know what I mean? What do y'all think about that?
Uh, I, I mean, I think it's just it's just what people have been doing with social media since the beginning is trying to kind of create this fantasy, but to a different extent now it's like, let me show you how I got this fantasy, you know
I'm
what I
gonna push
mean?
back
Mm-hmm.
on that because I was I was like at that peak age when the social media thing really started taking off. And in the beginning, bruh, people was literally just trying to connect. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
Hmm.
nobody was trying to create any kind of vibe, nothing. It was literally
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, this is what I'm on. What are you on? You know what I mean? Like everybody was just really trying to connect just to see what everybody else was on and like
So
try to link up and things like that. Like nobody was trying to be on some like, yo, I'm the big dog here type thing. Like that came later. In the beginning, it was just,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is dope. We're able to connect in real time.
agreed. So you're right, and in the beginning was the wrong word, but what I mean is that like before TikTok, before Reels, before even before Instagram, what I mean, there was a certain point where you know social media changed and people started to try to like create this fantasy of my life is better than yours,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where it started. That's where I'm talking about when I say the beginning,
Gotcha.
and you know what I'm saying. And now we are where we are from that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. When social media first started, it was amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a great way for
Yeah.
people to connect.
You
People
know
people
that.
wouldn't even understand like how social media was in the very beginning. Like when you're talking about like
Mm-hmm.
the chat rooms, even before MySpace, when it
Bruh,
was just chat rooms, people
facts.
just logging on AOL, which was an instant messenger, and there
Mhm.
was chat rooms, which is basically groups of different people that liked different stuff. You would just pick one of an interest that you like, and it would just be a whole bunch of people talking about whatever you wanted to talk about. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was NBA or something, they was tapping in during the game, after the game, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just giving opinions back and forth. You can
And
tap in
most
with
importantly, it wasn't trolls. People were actually trying to talk.
Yeah.
yep.
Like, people now just troll. Just I still don't understand the fascination with that. But that's a whole nother rabbit
You
hole
know
we can go
something
down.
that I'm very for that I feel like would make everything so simple, but people are very against. Like I would say that if you just using the internet just to have an online identity, you need an ID to do that. And
Mhm.
everything that you do from that online identity comes back to your online identity.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if that was the case for people, if people were like, "Oh, I'm actually responsible for what I do on the internet,"
Mhm.
all this, like, not all of it, obviously, because people are gonna find ways to do stuff anyway, but I feel like a big percentage of the trolling, the talking crazy,
Mhm.
the getting together and festering with these evil thoughts in chat rooms and stuff, like, all that stuff would fall right apart if you had to put a face to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. Definitely.
So I watch a lot of videos, man. Like I go back and forth all the time. I talk to my wife about it. Like there's so much content I want to create, but I feel like in order for it to be anything, I have to do it how the trendy way to do it is. And I'm like, that's not me. Like before, I feel like back in the day, you could just turn on the camera, be your 100% self, and upload that and present that as content. But now you have to do it in a certain way in order for it to fit in like an algorithms and for people to even want to watch it now. Like
Yeah.
we were watching some dude who was giving like the top 5 food halls in Orlando, and he was talking so like animated in a way that like this guy doesn't talk like that in real life. Why he just talk normal? She's
Yo,
like, why is he talking like that? And I was like,
Bro.
I
but
don't
check
know.
this out though, like, this is something, shout out to Freddie again, that Freddie told me is, like, you can curate your vibe, and then you just look for the people that are gonna be in line with your shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, if you wanted to, like, let's say that's what you wanted to do, you could just do it your regular Joe way, and
yeah,
then when you put it together and you put it out there, you're looking for, like, kinda like what Quincy was saying, like, when he's running targeted ads as an artist, when I'm running targeted ads as an artist, I'm just looking for people like the people that already like my music but haven't heard. You know what I mean? And then it's like you got to try to find kind of that community. Like even like with TikTok, like that's like a platform where like when stuff takes off, like a certain community will kind of flock to you, and you just kind of hope it's the right one.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the
Because
thing about TikTok, and like that's where I first got the idea of like DJing on a live feed. But you can't DJ without having at least 1,000 followers. You can't get 1,000 followers without making something that's gonna fit the algorithm that's gonna get you followers, which is gonna be some bullshit that you really don't want to make just to get you there in order to do what you want. It's such like it's such a
yeah,
draining
it turns it
process for
into a
me.
slow grind. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
if you wanted to just get on with what everybody's on, it could happen right away, but then what gets you on is what you gotta be on, you know what I mean? You're not just gonna be trendy and say, "Hey, I'm trendy," and then all of a sudden the people that followed you see that you're not trendy, you just hit with
yeah,
some random thing, you know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
why, like, a lot of times even, people just trying to latch onto trends to grow their page for
yeah. Exactly
whatever
what I'm saying.
whatever
Yeah,
type of thing they do that has nothing to do with whatever that trend is, to me, it's kinda like, okay, let's say you gain 500,000 followers that followed you because of that topic, like, how does that transfer to you? Like, that's why, like, you hear these random stories of, like, people that drop merch that they have 1,000,000 followers, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, 2 people bought my merch, like, y'all
Mhm.
not supporting me for real, this is not." It's like, yeah, because
yeah,
these people not supporting you for real. They just seen you on some trendy thing. You was the clown of the minute. They laughed at you, and they probably even forgot that they was following you, you know what I mean? That's something about, you know, popularity that people overlook a lot of the time, you know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily like a real thing, especially online when the things that you click don't mean anything, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's something I want to do that I have in mind of doing that I'm still gonna plan to do it eventually and see how that goes because that could be my natural self and do something to involve people and fit an algorithm without having it. But would I be what I consider corny in order to get a following and have people watch? Um, but it's really like it's really me seeing content and what you have to do to be a successful content creator makes me not want to create my content.
Bro, I'm telling you, I felt the same exact way until Freddie told me that thing about, like, curating it to your
Hmm.
vibe. I challenge y'all to do that, like, get on y'all shit, get on y'all social media, and all the shit that you're talking about that you wanna do, start seeking that kinda shit out, and see
Yeah,
how that starts taking over your feeds, and it's gonna propel you instead of detract you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I'm like y'all know I've been really big into music production and mixing and mastering and stuff. I follow pages that do that. Like they have
Hmm.
like engineers on and producers on, and they do these interviews, different podcasts and stuff. When I'm scrolling my thing, I'm seeing, something might pop up about something that I'm specifically looking to figure out, like maybe how to mix the kick with the bass in the mix so it sounds good. How to make something sound less muddy, which muddy is basically like when you hear a noise and it just doesn't sound that pleasant. It sounds muffled. Like, how do I brighten that up? Like the stuff that I'm seeing is like showing me how to do that. And then when I'm pulling up my studio equipment, I'm like, oh dang, that video I seen earlier, they
Yeah.
told me to subtract this frequency and try that. You know what I mean? Like you'll get it to a point where like I said, instead of being a detraction, it's actually helping you with whatever you want.
Yeah. Then that's my YouTube. My YouTube is curated for that, and that's where I think that's where my shift is going to change. Like, I'm not going to try to do it for Instagram anymore, which I originally thought I would, and just start with YouTube.
Yeah, that helped me a lot because I was the same, like y'all was saying, like I would pull up my stuff and I'm like, bro, like I didn't even understand how that's coming across my feeds. Like it's like,
Hmm.
what indication have I even given my phone that I would
You can
like
literally
some
there's
buffoonery like
a,
this?
option that you can ask. Why am I seeing this? I always say, why the fuck am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this right here?
Yeah.
Why?
And that's where you see like the stuff I was saying earlier, like the algorithmic stuff where it's like people
Hmm.
like you have liked this,
Hmm.
people in your following list have
Yeah.
liked this, like all the
Hmm.
trends that lead stuff to be in front of your face when it's like realistically you're not really, we don't really care about that stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I feel like the whole gist of it even is like we was talking about, like everything is content nowadays, and it just got so muddied up that it's hard to even be motivated to put it out because you just see so much of it from every angle and all the, you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
And then coming from like somebody who's created content, like I told me and Gary had a video podcast 2010, and we were creating videos and putting videos out. Like I was the king of uploading videos on Facebook, like custom home video content videos, and it was just so much fun. And it wasn't for like me to get ad revenue or to get clout or likes or anything. It was just fun, and like I don't feel that fun anymore when I post things. Like I'm like I don't even want to post this online anymore. It's sad, man. It's sad. Like and like you said, we are a different generation of content creators now. Uh, but you know that everything evolves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way I've been looking at it, bro, is like and it's funny that Sauce Walker interview where he said that thing about he's a rapper on the weekends. Like it made me chuckle because it's like that's kind of like what I'm trying to set up for myself, where like my businesses are thriving and sustaining me, so I can like
Mhm.
the music thing is not even my main thing, but I can give it the focus that it needs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then it puts you in a different headspace, even and kind of going off of what you said, Joe. I feel like it brings that fun back because you're not trying to make something happen with it. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to directly parlay your passion into like turning into dollars. You know what I mean? Like the
Mhm.
dollars are coming from somewhere else. You have the freedom to say, all right, let me just create freely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I see so many different people online, like Kim Congdon. She's a comedian, you know, and she's a good comedian. She has a good following. She has good shows, and she streams herself playing video games. Why? To get more engagement, right? The soccer player that I follow in Switzerland, same thing. Great soccer player. Now streaming himself playing video games. Another person who like has a bunch of gym workout videos that gets a lot of traction. Now they're streaming themselves playing video games. It's just like you see that you have to take those avenues in order to grow and keep that growth like not stagnant. And it sucks that you have to do that much, despite how much you do outside of that.
Yeah.
You got to take all that extra thing. And that's why I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I got to think of what am I going to do extra for it to gain that traction, the followers. And it's a lot to think about. But I hear you. I hear what you talking about. The, the advice that Freddie gives you, and take that in the thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Because
definitely will take it too. I know for me personally, I need a detox, not just from social media, but just from social interaction. Period. Like I just need to like focus on me, focus on weight loss, focus on, man, I've been busy, you know what I mean, with this wedding stuff. And after this wedding, I just need some focus time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I do get what you're saying though, for sure.
Word, yeah. Yeah, you just came off like a couple vacations too, right? So it's like you haven't even been like in the swing of like your regular everyday life and shit like that. So
Yep.
that definitely throws your clock off.
Yeah, yeah. It's like coming right back, you know what I'm saying? And then now basically to jump back, not jump back, but basically jump straight into going to the wedding. And so it's like right now, I'm just kind of like, and then obviously after all of that, and then kind of seeing like things on social media and stuff like that. And like, yeah, I can curate it and make it more what I want, but like, I don't know, bro. Like for me, just I just need a break from it. You know what I mean? That's just me.
I'm
Yeah, plenty
well,
of those.
y'all definitely making me feel like I got it in a good place. So that's man, that shit works for me perfectly, man. Like, and
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna lie, like I said, that shit that Freddie told me was a big
yeah.
component in that, like me turning it around because I was kind of in the same place y'all was at. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Well, that's what I
Like,
mean. I have not felt that in a long time since the last time. I felt that I used to do it a lot, at least once a year. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I'm getting rid of it. Disable my account. After my account got deleted, and now I only follow what I want to see and who I want to see and the people that I'm actually friends with. Life changing, and
bro,
that
this
it
this
started
is
my hook.
yeah, that's a big one too. What you just said, like a lot of times we get caught up in like, oh, I went to high school with this person, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
follow him.
hmm
You know what I mean? Oh, damn, man, we was coworkers in 2009, man. I gotta follow
Yeah,
you back. You know what I mean? But
Facts.
sometimes these people don't be doing nothing, or like the stuff they post just don't align with the stuff you want.
hmm
I mean, like it ain't nothing personal, bro. This is online. This ain't real life. Like, and I think that's the disconnect that we have specifically with this generation. Like, we look at the online stuff like it's a joke. Like, we don't look at it as real. When they
hmm
look at it as so real because it's the most important and the realest thing to them.
that's all they
hmm
got.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're already on two different planes. You know what I'm saying when you're talking because y'all not even like your courtroom is not even on the same planet. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, and I do like a cleanse of my social media probably like every 6 months to a year because I know throughout every week or two I'm following something just off of what I saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it may not be something that I actually wanted to follow, but in the moment I was like, yo, I want to keep up with this.
If I ever see you post on Facebook, if you're reading this, it means you made it through my purge.
Yo,
I'ma
that's me.
unfriend you
That's me.
myself.
That's
Nah,
me.
I don't do all that. But
That was me.
I definitely, I definitely get the messages like, "Hey, man, what happened? I thought we were friends on here." I definitely get those. But no, what I was gonna say was, it's funny that we're talking about this because I've been listening to Charlemagne the God's latest book, the Get Honest or Die Lying: Why Small Talk Sucks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, it's a really good book, man. I like genuinely enjoy Charlemagne's books, man.
yeah.
Um,
I
He
have
was
his
a big
first one.
fan of Charlemagne's books for a while.
yeah, yeah. This and basically he touches on
Yeah,
he touches on what we're talking about right now a lot in the book, just from the standpoint of like the way people kind of perceive, so not just social media, but just the way that people spend so much time trying to create this fantasy that they don't actually
Mm-hmm.
attain it. You know what I mean? It's like they'll go and spend all their lives to go take a picture on a balcony in Ibiza, when there's five other people in the room behind them. They're splitting the rent. I mean, not the
Yeah.
rent, but the stay. They're sleeping on the couch. 3 days later, they're going back home to go live in a cot. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
they do all of these things to create this facade, or whatever you call it, facade.
Facade. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's just an interesting thing, man. I really don't understand it. Um,
Yeah. I. It's not genuine, and
mhm.
that's what I feel is 75% of everything. Like I know people personally who say, I did this, look at me, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing for other people, for this.
Mm.
And it's like, it's not really them. They're just part of a group that's doing it,
Right.
but there's like taking full credit for it. And it's so this disingenuous. I don't know what that word is,
Yeah,
but
disingenuous.
Mhm.
yeah. And it's just like, damn, it's like
But it's
if
like
people,
the online like thing is like your customizable like little journal thing. So you're just literally seeing into like people's minds. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mhm.
It's like whatever, like you said, like whatever little world they want to create, that's what they do.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And when somebody does that, and then like I said, that they hold court in that world, like that's what has value to them. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole different generation, dog. Like they living in a whole different world,
Yeah.
dog. It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's rough. It is a different world, man, and it's um but then I do see people, like I said, old, way older than me. Uh I watch random videos, man, on YouTube. It's just stupid. We talked about this before, and I'm like, that's good. Like, there's still people out there who are just genuinely making content, and there's nothing false about it. And I was like, there's still hope. There's still hope
Nah,
out there.
facts, facts. And I think that's kind of like the overall gist of like what I was trying to say with like the stuff that Freddie told me is like you really could make it what you want it to be, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like and it'd be harder, you know what I mean? Because like we all know and have said like when you're not doing what everybody else is doing, you know, it's hard to get the wave, you know.
Yeah. I'll make my last stage. This dude I watch, and I love, fucking love these videos. He's really good at cutting grass. He finds houses that haven't had the grass cut like in 3 or 4 years,
I know
Oh
what
yeah,
you're
and
and
talking
he,
about.
SD loans?
oh my god, I
Yeah.
love those videos, bro. I love those videos. And it's it. He goes to their house, knocks on the door. You want me to cut the grass? The interaction is super genuine. Everybody's super happy about it. He cuts the grass and he bounces. Next video.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then it's really like common. Like, I love the whole waiting for it, the before and after pictures. Like, I sit there and wait for that. I'm like, yeah, yeah, give me that after picture. And I just love it. I was like, that's great. You found me. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
watch every single one of those videos you post.
Man, I found this other dude, and hopefully I can find his page and I'll share it on the grounded page if I remember. But he goes to local basketball courts and renovates them. He'll put a new
Mm.
backboard, a new rim. He'll like
Oh, wow.
fix the surface. You know, if the concrete's bad, he'll repaint it. You know what I mean? And then it like started catching on, and they started like commissioning him to redo basketball courts like in his
Oh, wow.
area. You know, like he just started originally. He just wanted to do like the court that he used to go to. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
He
smart.
just had the idea like, yo, I'm gonna just come out my own pocket and refurbish this court. And then like it caught on online and everything. And then like I think he's done like more than 10 now in like his area.
That's fire.
And that's like kind of what I'm saying, bro. Like there's like you said, bro, there's hope out there. You know what I'm saying? There's
Hmm.
those people still out there, dog. Like that's another thing about online that I don't agree with a lot of people saying. Like they say this generation or things have gotten bad or whatever. It's like, nah, bro, we're just seeing inside of everybody's mind all the time. Like we wasn't doing that before. Like
Yeah.
you just was thinking what you was thinking and you was wondering what other people was thinking. Now it's not like how it was, you know what I mean? Like now you actually know what other people's thinking. Like you pull out your phone and you pull up somebody's stories and they're showing you
Oh,
what
yeah.
they're doing and they're telling you what they're thinking, bro. It's like a
Hmm.
double whammy. So we're in just in different times. Like, but I say that to say this, like there's still the same amount of good people as bad people. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
you might be clouded by the bad, and you might be overwhelmed with the thought that there's a lot more bad than good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I
But
don't want to get drowned. I don't want my content to get drowned out in that shit, you know?
exactly. And it's like once you like pinpoint it, once you know hit the sniper scope and you're like zoomed into what you need to be on and you find those people that are in that space, that's when it like takes off. You know what I mean? That's when it hits different for you.
Yeah, no, there was one part in the book that Charlemagne basically said somebody asked him,
Come on, Charlamagne.
um,
Shalamalang,
uh,
shalamang.
he said, are we dumber now, or are we were we dumber, before we had technology, and basically way back when. He said, well, if you think about it, you know, yeah, we're dumber now. And the reason why is because we have the technology and the ability to do better, but we choose not to.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. To me, I kind of feel like it's just a thing of everything is so easy and accessible that it's not that necessarily that we're dumber. We're just not doing things that we used to need to do. You know what I mean? Like you're not, you're just not having those experiences anymore. So I feel like we're a lot less emotionally mature. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the fact that things have been so easy for all of us generally is kind of like a thing that kind of regressed us, you know?
Well, so from he's saying it from a standpoint of if you think about it, like where the things that people are concerned with now, you know what I mean? Like we don't concern ourselves with things that matter. You know what I mean? Like look at how politics have gone simply because of course they're gonna attack whatever we're concerned with. You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah.
are the people worried about? What can we do to get their vote? And that will tell you where we are. You know what I mean? And so that's what he's saying is that like we have the ability to know more, but we choose not to.
Yeah.
Like a ignorance is bliss kind of thing you're
Yeah,
saying? Like
exactly. Like
And then the people
we
create
have the
stuff for those
access.
people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like
so that's
think
how
of
he's saying that people are dumber because they're just choosing to be
they're
ignorant.
choosing to be ignorant.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's
He's
what he's
saying
saying.
that like, we have the potential like literally right now, all three of us can pull out our phone and be like, what's causing global warming, and we can have the answer in 3 seconds. But instead, most of us are looking up why, Cardi B and Offset have
Hmm.
getting a divorce. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying by as far as like,
Yeah.
we have the potential to be worried about the things that matter, but we don't.
I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, I don't think there's like more dumb people than before. They're just magnified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
dumb people are louder. You know what I'm saying? Even just when you would go to the grocery store as a kid, like, usually the person that was screaming or the person that was like grabbing your attention wasn't somebody necessarily that you were like, wow, they look pretty smart or something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, usually the person that's grabbing your attention at a grocery store is somebody that's doing something dumb. And I think that's just kind of the same online. Like the people that are gonna say the most ignorant stuff are gonna say it the loudest because they're ignorant to what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like I like it's like when you have a conversation with somebody and you can tell like they don't even understand, like they don't even grasp the concept of what they're even talking about, but they're talking about it with confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have those conversations with people sometimes where you're like, bruh, you have no experience with this thing that you're talking about, but you're saying it like there's no way that anything opposite of what you're saying could be true. You know what I mean? It's like the same way people talk about like how it's not that hard to grow up in the hood, just avoid this, just avoid that, and then they grew up in a house their whole life. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like, bruh, if you don't got no type of backbone here to even give your opinion. You don't even know nothing about this, but you're talking about it like you would have done something different. You know what I mean? Like you can. I'm real big on. I can't speak for anybody what I would have done in their shoes because I nobody's lived the same life. You know what I mean? Like we
Mhm.
that stuff from the same lens. Like even whoever you could think of is like they in their head they're justifying why they doing what they doing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you can't touch that. That's them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that's just like I don't know. I just have an outlook. I've never had an outlook that like there's a lot of smart people out here. You know,
Yeah, I feel you.
it's been like there's a lot of idiots, bro. That's just it's been tried and true. I've been in rooms with a lot of people. You know, going back to when you're in school, like where a lot of people don't understand something, and you, wow, bro, like there's like here, and five of them maybe understand what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's like that ratio has just carried on, like you know, what I mean? Like throughout the rest of your life. You wonder where these people come from, like that do, you know what I mean? Like you'll see certain advertisements, or you'll see, like you said, Quincy, like a Cardi being Offset, and you're like, dang, who is paying attention to this?
Mhm.
there's mad people paying attention to that. Mad.
Yeah, there is. That's the thing that
You
sucks.
know what I mean? Like you would think not there's not that many people, but nah, bro. Mad people clicked the Cardi B link before the one that said
Yep.
nuclear war is imminent. You know what I mean?
The facts.
Government find evidence of UFOs and they talk about it in a hearing, but
hmm
they trying to see who Meg the Stallion this week. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that's on
That's
that,
why
bro.
with Quincy with the whole Space Force, it's like that was happening right during COVID, but everybody was clicking every fucking thing else about COVID and the vaccines and
Mhm.
all this shit that nobody was clicking anything there, and that's why they're like perfect timing. Let's drop the
Facts.
Space Force.
Bro, because Space Force, they basically just like announced Halo.
hmm
You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's like a big deal, bro. And it just went under the rug.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, Trump. I mean, when he was president, he had a lot of crazy stuff he said. But I remember when he talked about that, it was pretty funny, man. Like the Trumpisms about space. That was a very that video was very funny, very funny.
D, that shit. Yeah, man,
Bro,
it's a
y'all
new
heard about
generation.
Boeing messing up in space as well?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Bruh. So like the little transporter vehicle that was supposed to transport some people that went to the space station off of it to come back to Earth, it was a Boeing one and it messed up and it hasn't been able to transport them off the space station.
Oh, that was the
They've been there
Boeing
for
one.
bad long, and now they were supposed to be there, I believe, like a month or 60 days, and now
Yeah, I
they're
think that
probably
because the
gonna be there
battery runs
until
out
next
of
year,
45 days or something, and they haven't been able to
and they're
come
gonna
back
have to
in.
be there until next year, bro.
What?
That's
They're
scary as shit.
stranded on the space station because the Boeing transporters malfunctioned.
Oh my
So they're
god.
stuck for mad months, bro. They might end up being there a year in space trapped, dog. Bro, when they did the interview, like they had did like a little press conference of one of the ladies that was stuck out there, and there's like no gravity. Yo, her hair was mad frizzy, and her hair was like my hair, but there's no gravity, so the hair was up like this, dog. And she's just talking like, like she's like talking all cheery and stuff, and it's like, oh, bro, she got to be going through it,
But
dog.
you gotta send me that video. What is going on?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, and that's bro, like what you was just talking about. That this has been going on, bro, and this is the first time you hearing about it.
Yep,
Right.
real talk. Just yeah.
And with that, I'll leave you with this: curate your social media because that's the stuff that's falling through the cracks if you're not curating your feeds.
Yep.
Facts. Stay butter.